get your thoughts on crypto, though, specifically when it comes to Coinbase, because it was interesting. If we look at ARKK, you actually sold a little bit of your Coinbase stake for the first time in nearly a year. I'm curious what your current thinking is on Coinbase, especially given its year-to-date rally of nearly 200%.
Yes, well, we're very positive on Coinbase, especially in light of the court ruling for Ripple and against the SEC. Not all together, there were some puts and takes, but by and large, very positive for exchanges.
Cathie Wood's flagship ARK Innovation ETF slips below its 200-day moving average for the first time since November 2023. With only 8 of its 30 holdings showing gains for the year and $1.4 billion pulled out in 2024, the ETF is in negative territory over a 5-year span. Will it bounce back, or is this the beginning of the end? Only Stocks, your secret daily dose of enticing market news. Monday's sell-off pushed the fund to its lowest point since February 6th. Currently trading at $45.31 a share, the ETF is inching closer to the $44.63 mark. If it breaks below this threshold, it will mark lows not seen since late November 2023. ARK has been trading within a range of $34 to $54 for nearly 2 years now. Its current price reflects a significant drop of 71.6% from its record high of $159.70 per share back in February 2021. Furthermore, ARK isn't the only actively managed fund by Wood that finds itself below its 200-day moving average. ARK Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF, ARK Genomic Revolution ETF, and ARK Space Exploration and Innovation ETF are all below this key technical level as well. Wood's other ETFs, ARK Next Generation Internet ETF and ARK FinTech Innovation ETF, while not dipping below the 200-day moving average, are currently trading below their 50-day moving averages. Here's a snapshot of the year-to-date performance of ARK Invest ETFs. ARKK down by 13.8% year-to-date. ARKW up by 2.1% year-to-date. ARKQ down by 9.8% year-to-date. ARKG down by 23.2% year-to-date. ARKF up by 1.7% year-to-date. ARKX down by 6.9% year-to-date. These figures provide a quick overview of how each ETF has fared since the beginning of the year. The ARK Innovation ETF is experiencing a resurgence thanks to the surge in Bitcoin and the broader cryptocurrency market. While the ETF has faced challenges due to its focused investment strategy, it's now seeing a boost in its short-term performance, largely driven by its investment in Coinbase Global. Initially lauded for its bold investments in disruptive industries during the pandemic, the ETF's returns have been lackluster in recent times. However, the recent rally in cryptocurrencies, spearheaded by Bitcoin, presents a potential turnaround for both its short-term performance and fund inflows. In a previous assessment titled ARK Innovation ETF, A Vulnerable Setup, there are concerns about potential outflows from the ARK Innovation ETF due to its underperformance compared to investor expectations. However, things took an interesting turn as the ETF made bold moves by heavily investing in Coinbase Global Incorporated, a major player in the cryptocurrency marketplace. This strategic move paid off handsomely, especially with Bitcoin hitting new all-time highs. The ETF's short-term performance has significantly improved, largely driven by its indirect exposure to the cryptocurrency market. This uptick in performance could potentially attract more funds and revive the ARK Innovation ETF as an appealing option for growth-oriented investors. Despite its initial popularity during the pandemic, the ETF's performance over the past few years has been lackluster, with a 3-year annualized return of 24.84% as of December 31, 2023, primarily due to the tech bubble's deflation post-COVID-19. However, in 2023, the ETF saw an impressive return of 67.82%, largely fueled by its investment in Coinbase Global. Despite this positive turn, the ETF has experienced net outflows of $124 billion since the beginning of the year, as per ETF database. While negative fund flows remain a concern, the ETF's improving short-term performance could potentially change the narrative, making it a more attractive growth investment option in 2024. However, there's a silver lining. The ETF's outflows might reverse soon, thanks to its strategic investments linked to the Bitcoin surge, potentially leading to a revival of the ARK Innovation ETF. Last year, the ARK Innovation ETF significantly increased its stake in Coinbase Global, a move that's paying off handsomely as Bitcoin recently hit a new high of around $74,000. With renewed interest in cryptocurrencies, Coinbase Global has become the largest holding in the ARK Innovation ETF, comprising more than 10% of its portfolio. The current upward trend in cryptocurrency prices, especially Bitcoin, has translated into a surge in Coinbase Global's stock price, thereby boosting the ETF's underlying net asset value. Since October 27, 2023, the ARK Innovation ETF's net asset value has surged by a whopping 42.8%, largely fueled by Coinbase Global's remarkable rally. A growing net asset value makes it easier for the ETF to attract new investor capital. This influx of new investment capital could provide a much-needed boost to Cathie Wood's flagship ETF. Analyzing the technical side of things, the ARK Innovation ETF's recent investment in Coinbase Global has injected fresh momentum into both its price and underlying net asset value. Since February, the exchange-traded fund has managed to stay above its 50-day moving average line, indicating a positive trend. Additionally, the 200-day moving average line, currently sitting at $44.76, acts as a support level, suggesting a potential buying opportunity for ARKK if it experiences a downturn. Looking at sentiment, the ARK Innovation ETF appears neither overbought nor oversold, signaling a balanced market sentiment. This situation might present a favorable buying opportunity, especially if you share my belief that the ongoing Bitcoin rally still has room to grow. Considering its net asset value, the ARK Innovation ETF is currently trading at a slight discount of 0.03%, which is in line with its historical trends. As of March 15, 2024, it stood at $48.70 per share. Generally, exchange-traded funds tend to trade very close to their NAV, either at a small discount or a premium, so this small deviation is not unusual. Here's why the investment case might not pan out as expected. The ARK Innovation ETF still maintains a high level of concentration, with its top 10 holdings making up a significant 61% of the fund's total holdings. This concentrated strategy hasn't worked out so well since the end of the pandemic, especially when investors became less enthusiastic about highly valued tech companies. Although there have been some changes in the ETF's composition since my last evaluation, there's still a risk that the ARK Innovation ETF could experience significant declines in its net asset value if its core holdings in Coinbase Global fail to meet expectations. This scenario is more likely to occur if the current Bitcoin rally loses steam, leading the sector into another downturn known as a cryptocurrency winter. The ARK Innovation ETF might find itself back in the spotlight if the ongoing Bitcoin surge persists and investors remain keen on cryptocurrency ventures. In 2023, the ETF made a bold move by significantly boosting its investment in Coinbase Global, and now it's reaping the rewards, especially with Bitcoin's seemingly unstoppable climb to new peaks. What's significant is that the ARK Innovation ETF's solid performance could attract more attention from investors, potentially leading to increased capital inflows. Given the current crypto bull run, there's a notable potential for the ETF's net asset value to appreciate further. Admittedly, some investors might be wary of the ETF's high level of concentration in certain holdings. However, ARK Innovation ETF as a possible contender for delivering robust overall returns this year, particularly if market conditions remain favorable and cryptocurrency prices maintain their upward trajectory. Cathie Wood often emphasizes a 5-year horizon for her investment strategies, which many view as a prudent and forward-looking approach. However, when we examine the performance of her flagship ARK Innovation ETF over that period, it's not exactly the success story one might expect. Investors who bought into ARK 5 years ago would find themselves with a 2.9% loss on their initial investment today. This starkly contrasts with the substantial gains seen in broad market index tracking ETFs like the SPDR Dow Jones Industrial Average ETF Trust, SPDR S&P 500 ETF Trust, and the Invesco QQQ Trust ETF over the same period. For instance, here's a snapshot of the 5-year performances of these benchmark tracking ETFs. DIA plus 46.5%, SPY plus 97.8%, QQQ 135.6%. When we take a step back and look at ARK's lifetime chart, it's evident that the ETF has struggled to keep up with the broader market trends. Let's take a look at how Cathie Wood's other actively managed ETFs have performed over the last 5 years. ARK Next Generation Internet ETF up by 49.8%. ARK Autonomous Technology and Robotics ETF up by 49.2%. ARK Genomic Revolution ETF down by 18.9%. ARK Fintech Innovation ETF up by 30.1%. It's interesting to note the varied performance across these different ETFs, reflecting the diverse sectors they focus on. Keep in mind that ARK Space Exploration and Innovation ETF was only established in March of 2021, so it doesn't have a 5-year track record yet. The ARK Innovation ETF, known for its wild swings, seems to be finding some stability amidst its volatility lately. Coin and Tesla lead the pack among ARK's top holdings, accounting for a significant chunk of the fund's assets. In fact, the top 10 positions command around 60% of the total. Short-term challenges like fluctuating interest rates and seasonal trends might cause some turbulence for ARK. However, despite these potential headwinds, the long-term prospects still appear bullish. The current state of ARK. ARK is quite the shapeshifter when it comes to its holdings. It's like a constantly evolving puzzle, with pieces moving around every day. While the top holdings tend to remain somewhat consistent, their proportions can vary over time. It's important to note that this ETF is all about growth and high-risk, high-reward investments. So, if you're seeking stability or regular dividends, you might want to look elsewhere. The heavy hitters in ARK's lineup are ones we've seen before, with Coin leading the charge, thanks in part to its incredible surge alongside Bitcoin's skyrocketing prices. Despite recent trimming of Coin holdings during its strong performance, it still commands a substantial chunk, making up over 11% of the portfolio. And then there's Tesla, a long-standing favorite of ARK. While it's still a significant player, its influence has waned a bit due to its lackluster performance lately, which has impacted both its share in the portfolio and the fund's overall performance. The top 10 holdings collectively hold the lion's share of the fund, making up about 60% of the total. That leaves the remaining 28 holdings with just around 1.4% each, on average. If you're considering diving into ARK, it's crucial to delve into the details of these top holdings to gauge if it aligns with your investment goals. Seems like many investors are taking this advice to heart and deciding ARK isn't the best destination for their funds. Recent months have seen significant outflows from ARK and other ARK funds as investors seek out more promising opportunities elsewhere.